So yeah.
100%. That's very good points, to be honest. We all know who's Elon Musk. I mean, he's South African, born and bred. Well, not necessarily bred. He left when he was quite young. But Elon Musk is a very good example of this, exactly, because I'm a big fan of Elon Musk.
No, me too.
Yeah, I
Me
mean,
too.
a lot of tech guys are a big fan of Elon Musk and what he has done. I mean, Tesla, SpaceX, etc., etc., Starlink, so many things, Solar City. But with Tesla, when you apply for a job at Tesla, he has an interview with you, right? And he sits you down. He's against like tertiary education. He's like, you don't need a tertiary certificate or diploma or whatever to get a proper job or to start a job, right? I mean, he started SpaceX and he had no, is it aviation? What do you call it?
Actually, no.
I don't even
I
know.
don't know what you mean.
Okay, yeah. Let's say space travel. I don't know what you're gonna call it, but okay, you understand what I mean. Okay. He started that company, he had no experience. Okay. But his ethos is you can do anything you put your mind to, right? And when he interviews people, he sits them down and he just wants to see passion in them. He gives them a problem and he wants them to try and solve it. If you can't solve a problem, let's say I give you uh, a topic to solve, right? A problem to solve. And you can't solve it, and you tell me immediately I can't solve it. It's not much passion in you, is there? Not really. You know, is your boss gonna believe in you? But if your boss comes to you and tells you, solve this problem, and you're like, okay, I'll do it. You know you can't do it. But I mean, that's passion. Passion will drive you to learn how to do that, and that's the amazing thing with what I'm saying now.
No.
So, but you understand what I mean, though?
No, I
Yeah.
get what you mean. But another thing on that point is
Mm-hmm.
there was an example. I was watching a interview with Elon Musk,
Okay.
and he was talking about he's getting the rockets up.
Oh,
You know,
okay. Yeah.
so basically he pitched this idea and
Mhm.
everything, and these guys that were leaders in their industry of
Yeah,
getting the rockets
I know.
up,
Yes.
they were not interested.
Yeah.
He couldn't get someone to help him build the rocket and launch it. And the people he could get, they weren't quite experts in it. So anyways, there was a lot of failed attempts, and eventually he was just like, I'm gonna do this myself.
Exactly.
He picked up everything he needed to. I'm pretty sure he had loads of help with everything, but
Yeah.
for the most part, he drove that to get that rocket to launch. And
Yeah.
he pushed and he pushed and he found out all the things he needed to find out. And look at him now; he's got rockets launching all over the place. And not only that, but like his friends and stuff didn't believe in him.
Yeah, they didn't.
And this gets onto the next point. Stay optimistic. I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead.
No,
there,
it's okay. No, I was literally going to say that as well.
But one of his friends actually sat him down, invited him over, sat him down, and said, watch this.
Yeah.
And he had him sitting on the couch and just watch these videos of rockets exploding.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So this is the thing. And even after Elon's friends basically told him, you're gonna mess up if you do this. He pushed through. He stayed optimistic, and he's got this saying of he says that you listen to the advice of your friends and family. Okay, really listen to the advice of your friends and family. If you're dating someone and your friends and your family say to you, look, this is not a good relationship, it's toxic and whatever, you listen to your family and whatever. The only exception to that rule is if it's important enough. Okay, and for him, he's all about furthering humans. Getting them to a more advanced place. And for him, even though his family was telling him and his friends were saying, this thing with SpaceX is not going to be great. It's a bad idea to launch rockets and stuff. You don't know what you're doing. For him, it was important enough to try. He was at that point where I have to try this. I've got the resources to try this. I'm going to do it. And he stayed optimistic, and it actually worked out. So if something's important enough, focus on it, and push as much as you can. Stay optimistic, regardless of what everyone else says. Do your thing and see where it goes. If it fails, it fails, and that's part of like businesses. If things fail, they fail. It's a part of it. You understand it, and you move on. You learn from it.
Exactly. It's such a common thing. to touch on that point and to end off this note, staying optimistic is very important. Every company that has started, there's been some failures in there. It's gonna happen. You're gonna hit road bumps every all the time. To be honest, you can never do things perfect all the time. It's just what it is. But one thing you got to take away from whenever you do fail and you do trip and fall is to get yourself up again and believe and sort out the problem. And also you need to take something away from failure. If you don't take something away from failure, then you kind of failed.
Yeah.
So if you fail and you take away something and you learn something from that, then you're all good.
Then you're good. If you learn something from your mistakes, then in my mind, it's not like an actual mistake, because you learned something.
Exactly.
It's something that will help you in your next venture.
Mm-hmm.
So take the punches of your mistakes and use that to build yourself up, make yourself stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
So just to end that note off, how to succeed as a millennial entrepreneur. This doesn't only apply to millennials, but this article is about millennials, but it doesn't just touch on millennials. It can be anyone from your early teens to a 65-year-old, a 75-year-old. It doesn't really matter. Starting a business, these are very good fundamentals to start a business, and just to remember those things. I just want to touch on it quickly one more time. It's eliminate your distractions. Build a story around your brand, which is just build a good brand as well. And then your fourth one is collaborate with competent people. Very important. The last one, quite important, is stay optimistic. We do have a fifth one, but we can, like, you guys can read further on the article. We'll put the link, like Justin has said. But the fifth one is cultivate resilience and flexibility. A very important thing. Why not read it? We'll put the link down in the description.
Cool. I like that you ended off like that. So
awesome, man.
We're encouraging people to check it out. I like that. Okay, so before we get into the next article, because we have another one, I wanted to ask Gvine quickly, where are we?
Where are we?
Where are we right now?
I'm going to give you exact locations, and I'm going to give you a name of the place. We are currently situated in Eden on the Bay. If you guys do not know where that is, Eden on the Bay is Blobergstrand in Cape Town, Western Cape. We are in a place called At Work. It's a lovely place for people who are, for instance, digital nomads. You're at home, you're working from home, and you feel like you just need a space to just sit and concentrate. You need a bit of I won't say socializing, but you're in a place where there's quite a bit of people. They have these little cubicles and desks where you can set up your laptop, have some coffee, and just work. Sometimes you need to get out of the house, change the scenery for that inspiration.
Yeah. So we at work, we came here, and the people here are just awesome. They're very accommodating.
They are so amazing.
And this boardroom, we're sitting in the boardroom, and it's very nice. You can see it's an awesome space, and perfect for meetings and things like that. Even a podcast, if you can.
Podcast. I mean, if you want to have a meeting, a really serious meeting, there's a couple of things. You can set up a Zoom meeting in here. You got all this equipment, and then you are chilling.
You're chilling.
No, I like that.
You're chilling. We'll have a link to AdWorks websites and everything in the description below if you guys want to check it out. But this is an awesome space, and the name is perfect. It's At Work.
At Work.
If you're trying to get away from some family,
where are you?
I'm at work. No.
100%.
So AdWorks got you covered. So check that out. We'll have it linked down in the description below.
Awesome.
So the next article is 5 reasons why a crisis is the best time to start your business. Okay, so I'll have this linked in the description below as well, this article, so you guys can check this out yourselves. But I'm going to start off with the first one, crisis-driven innovation. Okay, so this is an important one. So this is where you can start your business. This is a good starting point, because now we're in a crisis. We have a whole bunch of things going on. Our normal routines are just thrown out the window. We used to driving to work. If you have a 9 to 5, you drive to work, and you stay at work for the whole day, and then you drive home, maybe get dinner on your way home or whatever, and all that. So you had your routine, but now COVID obviously has thrown things a little bit out, and now we're working from home. Our routines have absolutely changed. But along with the change in routine comes possibility.
Mm.
Okay, because now you can think of ways to help people that are stuck at home. There's a whole bunch of new issues that we come across, and a perfect example about this is Zoom.
Zoom.
Zoom,
Zoom is just a lifesaver.
no, 100%, and it kind of it filled that need.
Exactly.
People needed to communicate. We use Zoom on a daily
No,
basis.
literally on a daily basis. I mean, 9 o'clock in the morning, I get a Zoom link from Justin.
Yeah.
Oh, are you up? I'm up. I want to do some work. Let's do some work. We just chill on Zoom all day.
Exactly, and we smash out our work through Zoom, and
Yeah.
we're trying to we be safe as much as we can. And another point on at work, they've got hand sanitizers and their
You're
usual
quite
checks
separated,
and
yeah.
things. Yeah,
Which is nice.
so it's very nice space here, and everything's cut up into like little cubicles and things. So that's awesome. But back to the notes, there's lots of ways that you can innovate now that your like everyone's routines have changed. So again, Zoom is a perfect example of that. They came, they saw there was a need, and they hopped on that train of helping people connect and get together without having to actually get together. Because in office space, you used to have people pretty much sitting on top of each other
All the time.
all the
There's
time.
no space in offices. In corporate,
Yeah,
in
no.
corporate, there's thousands.
Exactly.
On one floor, there can be hundreds of people on a floor. I mean, when you go to a corporate place in town, have you been in some of those buildings?
Yeah,
They are so packed. I mean,
so packed.
there's like so many. I can't do that. I don't think.
No.
I can't.
No, not
Whoever
you.
does that, like thinking about you guys because they got to wear masks. I know my mom's in corp, and it's pretty hectic.
Yeah, so there's loads of opportunities. Think about ways you can find a solution to many people's problems. Think about it, see what you can do, and where you can help people. And that's where you build your business. Is a great way to build your business up as well. Is thinking about how you can help people, not just I want to become rich and famous and whatever. But start off, on a good ground of helping people. That's a great place to start, and that also goes back to the previous article of building the story behind your business.
Very, very important.
Okay, so the next one, resilience is built into the process.
Funny, the last point of the previous article was resilience.
Yes,
because it's a very important thing.
No, very important, very important. So I'm going to read straight from here quickly. Companies born in times of crisis will tend to minimize expenditures, preserve cash, and avoid corporate debt by operating cheaply. I wanted to mention that first thing there, the first sentence, because I think it was written quite nicely. So if you are building a business from a point of crisis, you almost are building a business that's going to be stronger and building a foundation that's going to be stronger, because you're going to find alternative ways to do things, because now your usual routines are thrown out the window.
Exactly.
And your usual processes are thrown out the window, but now you can do things in a different way, and you have to kind of almost do it cheaper because not because you wouldn't have the money or the capital, but because of lockdown and all these other situations. You've got to find a way around these.
There's so many overheads people got to pay. For instance, rent. Come on, so many people had to, because of hard lockdown. So many people who own buildings or they lease buildings, they still got to pay that rent. First of all, that landlord's gonna come get that money at the end of the month, and he wants his money, even though he knows lockdown doesn't it prevents you from working your normal way, or prevents you from doing any work at all, and they still want the money. So hence why they're saying they want to preserve the cash so they can use that cash for overheads, etc., etc., etc.
Exactly. Yeah. So we need to focus on building a great foundation for business, and because of lockdown and everything, and the restrictions, you actually somewhat gifted, because now you can do things at somewhat of a low cost manner. Which is great, and it's a great way to build on your business later on, because hopefully COVID doesn't last for forever. And then once that's done, now you've built a business with a great foundation, and now you can go back to how things were before, and you can expand and do all the other things that you wanted to do. So we hope that doesn't take too long, but it's a great time to start your business now.
And the very unfortunate thing about when companies start to preserve cash and they start operating cheaply. A lot of people, unfortunately, do lose their jobs because companies can't, they're not able to pay everybody, which is very, very unfortunate because at the end of the day, it becomes too expensive for the company. They can't afford it because they've got to pay, like I said before, overheads and all these other things. So that's a very unfortunate thing. And that's what happens. A lot of people lose their jobs and they start looking for other means of income.
Yeah. So that goes to the next one of talent demand.
Yeah.
So basically, there's a whole bunch of people that feel insecure in
Yeah.
their job. Maybe, people have been in the same field or job for the last 10 years and they weren't quite happy there, or, they got into it because it was supposed to be a temporary thing, ended up being longer term. And maybe they're proficient in a whole bunch of other things that they wanted to do. But now is a perfect time. A lot of people are getting let go, and people are thinking about, well, this is a perfect opportunity for me to build my business or
Exactly.
do something else, connect with other people. So there's a lot of talented people now that are being unemployed or that are currently unemployed.
Yeah.
And that's where your great talent and your driven people, you're going to find your driven people now because they want to do something else.
Exactly.
They want to explore their options now. They've got
100%.
some time now to reflect on what they want to do with their lives in terms of business. So, get yourself out there, start posting your stuff everywhere, contacting people, chat to old friends. It's a
Exactly.
perfect time to connect and reconnect with people. So, that's a great one. There's a lot of talent out there.
On that point, speaking about talent, I don't know if you know Facebook Market. You probably do know Facebook
Facebook Market,
Market.
yeah.
I don't know if you guys know Facebook Market. Stunning place. I've noticed. I've been looking for a lot of things recently on Facebook Market. It's not everything on there is secondhand. A lot of things people make. I've noticed a lot of new craftsmen. So a lot of people who can work with wood, can build many things by hand, have started actually doing these things at home.
Yeah.
So they make all these things at home. It ranges from many things, from those planter boxes, those wooden planter boxes. We all know that we plant your herbs and stuff. Um, I've seen so many people building those kind of things. People building benches. They're building so many things with their hands, and people's creativity is coming back to them, which is a positive thing out of this whole negative issue.
Yeah, definitely. We going somewhere, and on that note, me and my wife bought a table recently off
Oh, is it?
Facebook Market.
Oh, awesome.
And it was great because we actually found it at a really good price compared to going to one of the big stores and whatever and getting a table there. So there was a guy, he was he had a little team, and they were putting tables together and stuff.
Oh, nice.
So it's really awesome. You can find some great deals out there. There's very talented people. Just because it's not, you don't buy something, in a store, or these fancy furniture stores or whatever, it doesn't mean you aren't going to find some great good quality deals out there. So have a look around. Facebook Market's a great place to do that as well. So let's hop into the next one, which is accessing funds. Now, a thing that's happening is investors are kind of looking at where they can put their money. Okay. And they're doing this because, okay, where they previously invested their money, now maybe the stocks in that or whatever is not doing so well, or whatever, because of lockdown, businesses are crashing, bigger businesses are crashing. And now they're looking at startups specifically like Zoom.
They're booming.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
And
booming pretty well.
investors want to look for things like that, the next big thing. They're looking for it. So if you have a good idea and you are willing to build it, and all you need is some finances, then there's investors looking for you, and they want to invest in businesses that are up and coming, especially now
100%.
that are we have lockdown and everything. People are looking at innovative new businesses that they can invest in. And then the last one is just lower costs. Everything is just coming at a lower cost, and I like the one that we touched on earlier is rent. Office spaces are cheaper. If you do need to meet with people in a boardroom, at work again being a perfect place,
Stunning.
you don't have to work all the time from here, but you can meet up with your coworkers if you have to. If it's something that you can't do over a Zoom call or whatever, you can work from home, save money on your office rent, and then you can just use a boardroom at work when you need to meet with people and things like that. So there's loads of opportunities to you know, fill out your budget in a better way, build your budget in a better way, because you don't have to spend so much money on your rental space and all these other things. You can save money here and put it more towards marketing. Again, who's the best place to market it? Gvine. No. We
I think it's everywhere.
it's
Gvine.
everywhere. Gvine. No, but the best thing to do in these situations is find another alternative place to put your money that's going to build your business up. And there's lots of savings, especially in rentals. You know, do your business meetings at work, and save money on rentals. Like really, seriously. You know, office space is expensive. You don't need an office space 9 to 5 for all your employees. Get them to work from
these
home,
days.
be
No,
safe, and meet up at work for your meetings. Okay. Anyways, that's our bread and butter money. By the way, our sponsorship. We're paying for our food. Yeah.
That concludes our first podcast brought to you by Justin and myself. Thanks so much for listening and staying all the way to the end. We will see you guys all in the next podcast. So please subscribe and like, and please give us some feedback on that podcast and let us know how we can improve. And what would you guys like us to talk about in the next one? Let us know. Thanks so much. Stop recording. I need to pause. You can talk.